Hello, my name is Jeff Rolka. You can learn more about me at voicelessonssf.com or voicelessonsinlondon.co.uk. I want to begin by just saying a very heartfelt thank you for all the listeners and watchers. It really means a lot to me. I also want to say thanks for all the comments and all the people writing in with questions. These videos that I'm producing right now are on delineation, which is also a way of saying ornamentation or runs, licks, riffs. They're all synonymous for those high passages that we often hear in contemporary music. And this video has a little bit of theory and a lot of practice on how to better execute those in our performances. So, a little theory about singing highly ornamented passages, trills, fast scales, etc. First and foremost is airflow. The airflow must not only be maintained through the course of the trill, but in fact increased and sung beyond the point that the trill has ended. So we're singing, you can think of it as singing past those trills or those ornaments. Additionally, vowels. They must be in alignment if we're changing. Even if we're not changing vowels in the course of the ornaments, those vowels, in order for us to successfully execute them, must be sufficiently narrow that when we change pitches, we retain that narrowness, that integrity of the vowel sound. Finally, when you're preparing your piece of music, it's important to look ahead so that we know where is your last breath before the ornament going to be. How are you approaching the ornament? Is it being approached from above? You're singing down to the ornamentation and then away from it? Or are you singing up to the ornament and then beyond it? All of those things are important in how we execute those passages. So the exercises that we're going to do today will help us to learn how to sing ornaments and how to have that kind of agility in our voices. But ultimately, you're going to have to assess the piece of music that you're working with and prepare that on an individual basis. As you practice with these exercises, I want you to find the range of keys that works best for your voice. So there are 4 of them: soprano, alto, tenor, and baritone. And we want to keep this in a comfortable range while we practice these skills. Now, when you're practicing, you may find that you get a certain point through the video and you'll need to switch over to the lip trill. I'd encourage you to practice the whole thing with the lip trill, for starters, just to get a handle on the exercises and also to really focus purely on how you're using air to move through the vocal lines. As always, if it gets too high or too low, just stop for a second, wait for the next exercise, or maybe if it's consistently too high or consistently too low, check one of the other versions of the exercises. Things to listen for in your practice. You're going to hear this pattern frequently. And you'll start off by singing an E vowel on that trill on the top, and then you'll switch vowels and do a bunch of different stuff that I've got planned. The things to listen for are how your voice maintains its integrity. You want it to sound seamless. If you hear bumps, either on the top note or the bottom, so here's the top, or the bottom, those can be good indicators of inconsistencies in either airflow or your concept for how to sing the phrase. It needs a bit of assessment on your part, since I'm not there, and then you can move forward. The lip trill or a hissing sound can be a great way to assess that. The exercises in this video are for the baritone male vocal range. I would encourage you to go through the whole thing on the lip trill or a hissing sound. The exercises get progressively more challenging as the video goes on. The tempos will increase, the number of vowels will increase, the number of changes of direction, ascending to descending, and the trill pattern that we're going to learn will change too. If you find that it is consistently too high or too low, you might try a different version. Suppose if it's too low, we'll have to do a new one. Just let me know if that's the case. or if it's just too high for you. I had that backwards. If it's too high, let me know, and I'll do one that's in some lower keys. I am going to incorporate the use of an old friend of mine here, Mr. Dr. Beat. It's a DB66 metronome that I received for Christmas when I was 13 years old. And I can assure you that was a long time ago. Anyway, we are going to start off with the exercise that I used as an example. Is the E vowel sound. Sounds like this. At 60 beats a minute. Baritone's beginning here. 2, ready, and... Now we're going to use the same pattern, but we're going to change to A in the middle of the trill. It'll sound like this. And we're going to go to 65 beats per minute, starting here. 2, ready, and... We're going to incorporate another vowel, going to 70 beats a minute, and changing the pattern slightly. Now we have a 3-note scale at the beginning. It sounds like this. Beginning here. 2, ready, and... Now to 75. We're going to incorporate a 5-note scale in between that 3-note and the note in the scale with the trill on the top, and get all the vowels together in the exercise. It sounds like this. One more time. Beginning here. 2, ready, and... Now we're going to stay at the same tempo for a moment, but we're going to reverse the order of the vowels. We've been singing from E to U, from narrow of one aspect to narrow of another. Now we're going to just go the other direction. Sounds like this. Beginning here. 2, ready, and... And now, the next two tempos that we're going to go through are going to use the same pattern. And I want to encourage you to use the vowel patterns in either direction that you need practice with. Alternately, you could also eliminate some of the vowels, or just go to the lip trill to get some practice on the patterns themselves, and then start practicing vowels. In other words, it's a little bit up to you. But I'm going to play it at 80 beats a minute. 1, 2, ready, and... and 85. 1, 2, ready. And there you go. I hope this helps. I want to thank you again for watching. I want to thank you for the comments and the questions. These videos on delineation, ornamentation, were done because someone asked a question about tips and practices for it. And I'm always happy to address those questions. Enjoy the videos, take good care of your voices, enjoy singing. My name is Jeff Rolka. Thanks for watching, and I hope I see you again.